Salam alaikum. I begin my journey on the island of Lamu, just off northern Kenya. I'll travel south along the Swahili Coast, stopping off at the old ocean port of Mombasa. Finally, I'm sailing to the island of Zanzibar as I try to untangle the roots of the Swahili people. I'm going to see Sheikh Badawi, one of Lamu's most venerable Islamic scholars. Assalamu alaikum. I want to understand the history of Lamu. How Lamu was founded. Is it an Arab civilization or is it an African civilization?
Lamu, in effect, was Arab civilization since more than 1,000 years.
Sheikh Badawi is proud of his Arabic roots. He tells me he can trace his family back to the Prophet Muhammad. You have a noble ancestry. Do you have African ancestors as well?
Sasa sisi hatupendelei kuwa kizazi cha Kiafrika ni kitoevu, lakini twaiwa Afrika na kizazi chake na pande mwingine Asia na kizazi chake, lakini sasa
all his ancestors are coming from Arab people, and in the past there was a system of making concubines.
Concubines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marrying those women. Yes. So it resulted people to be considered as inferior.
And the concubines were African women.
Yeah, concubines. Yeah.
I see. Why did Arab men take African women as concubines?
Maybe people could not afford to marry many Arab people. So the Africans were the local people were cheap, and other reasons best known to them.
Whatever Sheikh Badawi says, that supposedly pure Arabic blood has long been mixed with the blood of black Africans. Historians say that Swahili culture was shaped by the monsoon trade winds. Arabs came here to trade with Africans. They had to wait 6 months for the winds to change before they could sail home. They took concubines, wives, and had children. Ahmad Sagaf is an architect whose family has lived in Lamu for generations. Like Sheikh Badawi, he traces his ancestry back to Arabia. Now, when your ancestors came here in the 13th century, did they mix with the Africans?
Yeah, because they can't live by themselves. They have to mix with the people, so as to manage their stay in Kenya.
So African men could marry Arab women?
Very rare, in a very rare case.
Very rare.
But an Arab man can easily marry an African woman.
So the Arab men intermarried with African women, and they created the Swahili people?
Yeah, this is how the birth of the Swahili language and culture came about.
So you can trace your ancestry back to the 13th
Yeah, I
century?
have a tree structure of our families.
A family tree?
Yeah, from Prophet Muhammad up to my sons now.
You do?
Yes.
Wow, that's
I
great.
have a couple of that.
Huh. But can Africans trace their ancestry back that far?
Not mostly, because most of them were illiterate. So they don't know how to keep the records. This was the main problem with those people.
If you lived in the States, you would be called a black man. You're not black here.
Yeah, I'm not black because most of the people they recognize me as a local Arab.
A local Arab.
Yeah, a local Arab.
Does that give you greater social standing here?
Yes, very much, yes. Because I can now identify myself as somebody else from other clans or from other families.
Other clans, other families.
Other families. That is the most important of keeping up all these records of the family tree structure.
And you know what? It's exactly the same in my country. Everybody wants to be from elsewhere. My conversation with Ahmed reminds me how black Americans used to claim descent from some distant Cherokee or Sioux ancestor. Anything but pure Negro. So far, all I've heard about here is their Arab ancestry, and not a lot about the Swahili's African side. I'm on my way to the ruins of Shanga, the oldest city yet discovered on the east coast of Africa. Shanga holds important clues about the origins of the Swahili. Muhammad Badi and Abbas Shakuna took part in the original excavations.
That is the Friday Mosque, and it's one of the most funniest features we found on this settlement. Let's go near it, I'll tell you.
It's huge.
It is one of the biggest mosques. This is said to be 14th century. Now this is facing the Kaaba in Mecca. So there is this mosque you see on the top,
Right.
and then there is another mosque
How old is
below
that?
this one.
How old is the one
That
below?
one was said to be about 11th century.
11th century.
And then we dug further down. That means this is the first strata of the town. Below it, there is the second town. And we went down under that second town. We found the original settlement, which was composed of mud and water huts.
The mud and wattle huts they found were laid out like other African villages further inland. This was a major discovery. It proves that Africans were already living here before the Arabs first landed. So then, in come the Arabs,
The Arabs,
2,000 years ago.
2,000 years ago.
Okay.
And they intermarried with the local people.
But did they conquer the local people, or
No.
were they equals?
They did it in this way. For example, you come in as an Arab, you meet me, a black man, you mix blood with me. So now there's no more war between me and you. I accept you as my brother. So you eventually you become the boss of that area as Arab.
Eventually, so the Arabs came to
And
dominate.
dominate the local people.
So while the Arabs came to dominate the coast, Shanga shows that the Swahili's roots are African. And what's more, their language, Swahili, is a Bantu African language with some words borrowed from Arabic. Today it's the most widely used language in East Africa. Abbas, my guide from Shanga, is typical of this Swahili mix. To me, he looks like an African, but he also has distant Arab ancestry.
Abbas,
Yeah.
what do you think when the old Arab families here say that Lamu is Arab civilization, it's not African civilization?
I can say my grandfathers come from Arabic.
Your grandfather's Arab?
Yeah, but my mother's is not Africans, come from here. By June, yeah. But everything's changing now. First it was Arabic, and then British come. Then now we are independent. So everything's changing. So we're still in Africa now.
One of Abbas's wives is Arabic. Until recently, this would have been unthinkable. In the past, Arab men married African women, and almost never the other way around.
You know, Abbas, I have 2 daughters too.
I've got 9.
But how many women?
Mothers, just 2.
Okay, 2 mothers. So you've been married twice, or
Yeah, I made it to. I've got 2 wives now.
what's it like to have 2 wives? You know, where I come from, you only have 1 wife.
Yeah, our religion we are allowed to marry 4.
Do you live in the same house?
No, different house. You can't. You can't bring the same houses.
But you know, Abbas,
Yeah.
if my daughters, I would rather them have 2 husbands than them to be 1 wife to a husband with 2 wives.
To be 2 husbands.
Yeah, I'd rather them to be. I don't want them to be.
Come on, no,
I
it's
would rather.
impossible.
I'd rather them to be
How?
in control.
No. That is fighting. You know, how can you put it 2 husbands with 1 wife?
Two great cultures, African and Arab, met and mixed on this coast. But in Lamu, it doesn't exactly feel like a marriage of equals. When I was growing up, we used to say, if you're light, you're all right. If you're brown, get down. If you're black, get back. It's taken my people 50 years to move from Negro to black to African American. I wonder how long it will take the Swahili to call themselves African.